morning. Welcome back to the Expert Talks. And in today's show, we're very lucky to have the CEO of HumanableCX, Mr. Rod Martin, with us. Welcome, Rod. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hi, Sage. It's lovely to meet you.
Thank you very much for joining us and fitting us in your busy schedule.
Pleasure.
So I'm sure the audience is very keen to hear directly from yourself. Let's offer them some of your valuable insights. So the HumanableCX customer engagement platform uses the power of data, humanisation and video to empower organisations to create seamless online customer experiences across the life cycle. Could you please talk about the inspiration behind launching the brand?
Yes, sure. So, today customer engagement is increasingly becoming digitized. As bricks and mortar locations and branches, like say bank branches, are being increasingly phased out, customers are being migrated online, where they're expected to self-serve or learn how to manage the accounts and things themselves. At the same time, you've got CEOs in companies all over Australia saying to their customer experience executives, they're saying, make it more digital, make everything more digital. But at the same time, I want you to make it personalized. So it's kind of like a huge challenge there. So, for us, what we think is what's missing is the human touch. So we've invented a way to automate real humans. Importantly, we're not talking about robots who are trying to act like humans. We're not virtual humans. We've invented technology that is real people, automated and living right on a website, and we've called it HumanableCX.
Right. What an interesting innovation. And I know exactly what you mean about having something more digitised and less humanable. Exactly what we're doing. A video call is a perfect example of that.
Exactly.
So, how does the video concierge solution help in optimising customer satisfaction?
Yeah, so, when you think about it, when customers, or, even yourself, not just customers, but when anyone goes to a website, you're pretty much left by yourself. You have to sort of interact and navigate and manage everything by yourself, which is fine. But with our solution, a video concierge can greet a customer and then guide them all the way through an inquiry or a purchase or an application or join process, and then all the way to fulfillment. So when the customers get to the purchase process, the concierges can explain complex questions. They can explain to people why questions are being asked. And importantly, we can keep customers with us through moments of indecision. And the concierges can actually interact with a company's existing application form or join process or purchase kind of process, if you like, or we can build one for that company as well. So it's a completely interactive solution where a customer is, greeted by a real person on a website, but as I say, automated and not a robot. Just one thing I would say about the technology is that 90% of purchase or inquiry applications on the web, on websites, are what we call rules-based or decision tree technology, where you're pretty much asked specific questions, and then you answer by hitting on certain buttons that you're presented with to make your decision. So our concierges and our technology can interact with that existing, sort of journey, if you like, and we put the whole thing together that way.
Fantastic. It's really sounding like the future has begun. Welcome to the future.
You think so?
Yeah, so you have offices...
Well, I'm not a robot, by the way. I just wanted to mention I'm a real human. So
a real human, I love it. So you have offices in Sydney and London?
Sydney and London. We were lucky enough to be invited to join the UK Going Global program a few months ago, and we're currently going through that program, taking the technology to the UK, and we're getting some amazing responses. We've also just completed the Denver landing pad. which we were invited to participate in, where around half a dozen sort of forward-thinking emerging technology companies were invited to participate in that program in the US. And we're just getting some amazing response, primarily from the Blackstone Entrepreneurs Network. So yeah, it's funny when you build this technology, you go, wow, I wonder if people are going to like this or people are going to use it. We did some research, but once it's up and running and we've had the response that we have, yeah, it's been quite overwhelming. So bring it on.
Fantastic. Definitely sounds a very exciting space to be in. And I know when I'm on websites myself with my own experience and you see the little chat box there and you're able to chat with people instantly, I'm imagining instead of just getting a message back, you'll actually see someone replying. Am I on the right track?
Yeah, absolutely on the right track. So as you mentioned, if you interact with a chatbot, you get a text response. But with our technology, a real human would actually, the image or video of that person would live on the website in place of the chatbot. And instead of a text response from your interaction, you will get this person will talk to you and engage with you. And importantly, the presenter or the video concierge, as we call them, we will film them with a lot of compassion and emotion. So if you're talking to a customer who, has a health insurance issue, like they're going to hospital or something like that, we can design the program or the solution so that the presenter, presents with a lot of compassion. Oh, we're so sorry to hear about your hospital visit, but that's okay. Let's deal with your issue now and help you understand everything that you're about to sort of face. So that kind of emotion you can't get through a chatbot, and I think that's the real power at the heart of the technology that we're bringing to market.
Absolutely, that sounds amazing. And I can see this being really helpful for decreasing the abandonment rate of online products for businesses. So could you expand on that a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we discovered in some of the early research when we were putting this idea together is that the abandonment rate for online services products alone is 84%. So you have to think about that. Like out of every 100 people that come to a financial services website, 84 are leaving before they buy something. And another stat there is it costs on average $303 to acquire each and every new customer in financial services. So, when you look at that 84% abandonment rate, the missed opportunity or the missed revenue is enormous, absolutely enormous. Now, people abandon due to many reasons, but mostly it's, they don't understand something. It's too complex. There's some mistrust. Maybe they don't understand the benefits or what's at the heart of the brand that they're sort of encountering on the website. On the internet. But a humanable video concierge can reduce that problem. And as I say, interact with the person, give them understanding, give them some emotion. When they get to difficult parts or complex parts of the application or the purchase process, we can explain to them why we're asking those questions and, get them all the way down the funnel to fulfillment or purchase. Yeah.
Yes. I think especially in the health sector, as you mentioned, that people will really appreciate that extra empathy and warmth that seeing a real person can offer.
Yeah, definitely. And we're actually looking at building the solution so that when you come to the website, you can choose your language or you can choose your presenter. Right. There could be little headshots of female or male or, sort of culturally diverse person. Different languages, so you can choose the journey there, and that'll depend obviously on, sort of the level of budget that a particular company would have, but the opportunities are limitless, really.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thanks so much for sharing your passion on your project, by the way. And
yeah, thanks.
Please talk a little bit more about the platforms where your clients can access the Humanable video solutions.
Yeah, so we've built this so that the solution can interact with their existing CRM platform. It pretty much works with, interacts and integrates with any platform, such as Salesforce or Adobe or HubSpot and the like. So we've purposely built it as a low-code solution. Importantly, there's no need for integration with back-end systems. The Humanable solution can become an additional page in your content management system, and also it can be embedded into an existing web page. We have a team that can work with a company to integrate it into their web page. We're doing that for a large insurer at the moment. But we can also build the solution so it lives on its own microsite or its own web page, and that's something that can be emailed to a customer or texted to them, so we can leverage opportunities, sales opportunities with people that maybe haven't come through the website. They've come through alternate sources, perhaps sales teams and things like that. So it was important from the outset to make sure that we could integrate this right across the sort of ecosystem, the web ecosystem.
Exactly. I found that having video call doctor's appointments or just being able to call a doctor for a prescription has been so much more convenient as one of the advantages from the changes made due to COVID. And this innovation, integrating the video call with the website, sounds fantastic. Analysing customer behaviour, as you do in your line, and optimising campaign opportunities are significant for a company's growth. And in your opinion, how does HumanableCX help businesses with that?
Well, yeah, that's a really great question, and thanks for asking it. At the outset, it was super important that we, everything we approached with the technology was built around analytics. So we've built in a really powerful analytics engine into every Humanable Video Concierge solution. And so in a nutshell, we can measure all user actions individually. So when an individual comes to a website, we can measure unique actions there, but also over time through 1,000 people interacting, or 100,000 or 1 million people interacting with the concierge, we can draw trends over time. And those stats or trends will enhance or optimize concierge dialogue and interactivity features. We can build in A/B testing. We can try a particular type of concierge dialogue or interactivity in one city, and we could test another another part in another city, or another sort of approach to dialogue in another city. And so over time, we're not only building up, and optimizing opportunities for that one particular customer or client, we're building trends as a company, for our Humanable company, where we can leverage that, across entire verticals or industries, if you like.
Fantastic.
But as I say, it's important to make sure that we can register that ROI. And of course, at the end of the day, direct sales will be measured through the form, the application, and the sales completion.
Right. So they'll be there from right at the start and take you through right to the end until the deal is closed or the question is finalised.
Yeah, right from inquiry at the beginning when someone first comes to the site, all the way through the application, the join process. So we've spoken to a couple of clients that just want to try it out through the inquiry process, and then we'll lead them to their existing form, and it's that kind of that one-dimensional interaction from there, and we'll test that, and then we'll also test a version where the concierge guides the person all the way through the process of application and sales, and see what works the best.
I can definitely see a lot of good word of mouth coming out from a customer experience like that. Brands.
Oh, sorry, I cut you off there.
No, that's okay.
Oh, I was just going to say another feature that we'll have is little survey pop-ups, and we'll do that in a discreet way, something that doesn't sort of overtake the whole solution or the whole experience for a customer. but where possible and where we think it'll work, we'll incorporate some survey forms that might just pop up at key points where we can gauge people's reactions and see if there's a further appetite for the solution with them. We've done this for a car insurance company, done that over the last 12 months, and the CSAT scores have gone through the roof. It's like 94% of customers have said that they love the solution and that they want more, and then, they don't want to go back to what they had before. So I'll just turn this off. That's something we've been looking at.
Oh, that's great that they're interacting so much with you and giving you their feedback. Brands like American Express and MasterCard have collaborated with you in the past. Would you please shed some light more on your current client base?
Yeah, so when you mention Amex, we have a global vendor agreement with Amex. We've had that for a few years. A lot of our clients start with a trial and then they roll out from there. And pretty much all the trials turn into rollouts and long-term arrangements because the ROI is definitely there. Some of our other clients are mainly in financial services, actually. So Westpac, BT Financial, Woolworths Insurance, AIA, Australia Post are all current busy clients with us. Interesting point when we talk about the clients, some of them have driven some really cool solutions or requests. So we've just developed a really cool feature for a bank where if you open up a business account, you actually have to go into a branch to finalise the account setup process. So while someone's watching their onboarding video, in real time, our technology will know exactly where they are in Australia. So in real time, we'll animate in the address to the nearest branch where that person is standing, so they can get there in a hurry. So it's those kind of cool technological features that our clients, request, and we said, yeah, we can build that. It's really exciting.
Absolutely. It sounds very convenient and accessible even. So we're reaching the end of our time slot, actually. And before we go, we'd just like to hear your insights, being an expert in the field. We saw a big redistribution of power during the COVID-19 downturn. We saw the emergence of more digital opportunities for businesses. And we also saw that there was a huge increase in cybercrime. How did you cope with these type of market fluctuations at HumanableCX?
I think if we look at what I can say about COVID-19 regards cybercrime, that was something that we didn't experience. We have ISO 27001 certification, so everything we do is data security focused, and we're really conscious about that. But the one sort of shift in business that we saw over COVID-19 was the fact that people found it less or more of a challenge to interact with each other in person. So this technology we've found has been really well adopted because it allows people to interact with someone real, but it's still automated and at scale. And I'm not sure whether that's going to change so much once COVID has become a thing of the past. Will it ever become a thing of the past? I don't know. But I think that the need for human interaction to be automated and at scale is something that will be more prevalent going forward.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Rod, for joining us this morning. It was an absolutely fabulous show. And was there any last comments you'd like to add before we wind up this morning?
Any last comments? I'd just like to say that it's a super exciting world at the moment in a case of digital technology and customer interaction. We've got some ideas in mind that even blowing our minds. And when you realise you can actually pull it off, it's a super exciting thing. So I think the future is exciting, and can't wait to be a big part of it.
Exactly. Watch this space. And thank you so much for sharing the knowledge you've imparted on us today with your brand new innovation. It is a very exciting space. And if you missed our interview, you can watch it at our YouTube channel later on today or by tomorrow at Calkine Media. So please check it out. And if you're just joining us, stay tuned for more market live updates soon from the team. And as we say here, stay apprised and invest wise with Calkine.